Okay, this is going to be a tutorial on these three, and primarily we're just going to focus on the first two. All right, so as is normal, it's going to be based on size of brush, as well as the different strengths that you're going to use. So my job right now, I'm going to make a duplicate layer because I don't want to mess this one up. And I'm just going to decide on what areas I should blur out. So it might be something where I really want to blur this background out a little bit more, and that's fine. You know, sometimes you're going to need to use a different brush, but if I really want to blur this stuff out, that's definitely something to do. And the bigger the brush, the easier it is to do. Now it might not look like much, but you can kind of see that up in this area. Let me zoom into a different section so it's a little bit more obvious. There you go. So that's definitely some things to do. And this is usually going to be a way of maybe putting the contrast where you want it, or the attention where you want it, blurring out some of the background. And typically you'll do that with your camera, but if the camera hasn't done all the work that you wanted it to do, then you could kind of replicate depth of field that way. So that's the purpose for it. The second part here is a sharpener tool. And again, this is going to be based on brush size. Now, in this particular image that I took, it's just in my front yard. The butterfly was so pale that, you know, maybe sharpening it up a little bit isn't a bad idea for some of those details, because it's a quiet, subtle little thing. Okay, so next one is going to be the Sharpen tool again, where I turn it off so you can kind of see the difference a little bit closer. Now, there is a danger in using the Sharpen tool, so you got to be careful about how much. Let me pump up the strength so you can kind of see this a little bit better. At some point, it starts to look bad, right? It just does it too, you know, you can go far to the extreme. So just be careful how much you utilize it, but I'd say in small doses, it's fine, especially for your area of interest. So, yeah, those two together usually work great. The Smudge tool, I'll do it just because it's here, but I can honestly say I've never used it for photography. I could see a purpose to it, even though I haven't done it yet, to digital art. Like if you're doing digital painting, I could certainly see a use for it, but just know it's there in case you ever want to try it.